What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Today, we're unraveling another key piece in the puzzle of AI text generation. So today, we're going to be going over the frequency penalty. Now, this might sound a bit technical, but it's really just a way to make sure that our AI doesn't keep repeating the same words too often. Imagine you're writing a letter and trying not to use the word amazing in every sentence. That's what the frequency penalty helps the AI with. It kind of nudges the AI to use a variety of words, making the text more interesting and readable. So here's how it works. Every time the AI uses a word, the word score goes down a bit, making it less likely to be used again soon. The more often a word is used, the less appealing it becomes to the AI, and this is really great for keeping the AI's language fresh and avoiding that feeling of reading something that might sound like a stuck record. Now, some of you might be wondering, how is this different from presence penalty or repetition penalty? We'll go over each of those too, and we do go over each of those in other videos as well, but they all kind of sound like they're about avoiding repeats, right? Well, yes, but they tackle it from different angles. Presence penalty is all about discouraging the AI from using the same word or phrase again and again at all after it's been used once. Think of it kind of as the AI's way of saying, okay, I've mentioned this, let's move on to something new. Repetition penalty, on the other hand, specifically targets the immediate repetition of words or phrases, so it helps to prevent that robotic echo effect where phrase is repeated back to back. So kind of while frequency penalty encourages the AI to diversify its vocabulary over the entire text, presence and repetition penalties are about avoiding the immediate reuse of words or phrases. And together, they kind of help make the structure of the AI's outputs a lot more coherent, and it doesn't sound like you're listening to a broken record. Now, with that said, let's kind of look again and see how our character that we've built here adjusts with each of those. So if we see here, we've got our character, Young Money, and as we've mentioned, Young Money is our gangster who knows finances. And he talks to us in a way that explains finances in a really, really great way, but also as the model imagines a gangster would talk. So it's a really fun dichotomy of how the model will express itself. And we can see here on the Open Router Playground, it actually also gives us an explanation of what frequency penalty is. And as we kind of see here, kind of what we mentioned is the token penalty scales with the number of occurrences. So it doesn't want to repeat the same words. And what the frequency penalty means here on these ranges are actually, so if we have it set at 0, basically there's no penalty applied. We let the model do whatever it wants, and there's no penalty applied for repeating words. If we set the frequency penalty to the negatives, it actually encourages the repetition of words. So, I can't think of many use cases of why someone might want to do that, but it could be for some creative use cases where you just want words to constantly repeat. And when we set it in a positive manner between 0 and 2, this really adds the penalties for the tokens and increases the amount of penalties applied for actually having words. So really high ones means really does not want to use the same words over and over again. So what we're going to do is, to see how this works, we're going to set a very high frequency penalty so that we're not repeating words. Setting really high costs if to the AI model of saying, okay, this word has been used, we might not want to use it again. So I'm going to do the same prompt I've basically been doing. Let's see if I have it copied here. Nope. Okay. Dog, how can I buy a house? And now when I run it, it's really trying not to repeat the words. And here it's giving us it's giving us an output here, which actually doesn't make it seem like he's talking like Young Money usually would. So frequency penalty that's pretty high here actually doesn't seem to be working too good for our use case. So I'm going to now shorten this frequency penalty, and I'm going to go no frequency penalty. I'd like for them to be able to reuse the words if needed, and we're going to put this in here. And now we're going to see. Cool. So we can see here that it's already a little bit better than the previous one. And then it gives us a response where he does kind of talk like Young Money, but with some concoction of the different parameters, we might want to make him sound a bit more gangster, because he's not sounding too gangster. And what I'll do is I'll actually see if I can put this one up a little bit. And then we'll run this back, see if we get a better response. And this is the beauty of playing around with these models. Some might give you better responses based on the different parameters. I already like this one a lot better than the other ones. And different models, again, like we've mentioned, require different parameter settings, which is why you can also go to OpenRouter and figure out what are the optimal settings for each model, so that you can kind of at least figure out where to start, and then maybe for your use cases you can figure out how to like build off of that. So we've got that, and then maybe for fun, let's see. Yeah, so I like this response a lot better. So maybe for fun, let's just see what a negative one would look like, all the way -2. So we might want to encourage a lot of repetition here. Okay, I think this is still going from our previous one. So what we'll do here is we'll just refresh real quick. We've got Young Money. We've got our settings saved. That's awesome. And then we'll go here. Okay. Yep. And we see it here. No penalty for repeating words. And this is how these different penalties can affect your output. So because there's no cost, it just keeps repeating you. Yeah, so this is, in essence, how the frequency penalty affects the actual output from the prompt, and how it would affect your model as you're building with it. We got more videos. Check out our ones on the repetition penalty and the presence penalty, so that you can kind of see how those work hand in hand, and that we can kind of adjust each of those settings to get what we want. Until then, if you like what you've seen, please like, subscribe, and share. And as always, stay blessed, and we'll talk to y'all soon. Ciao.